Welcome back to another Epic 7 video, and this time I'm gonna talk about my RTA experience as a new player, and I'm gonna show two matches and commentate on them. This is the pre-ban phase, and I pre-ban usually the same stuff, but this time actually I pre-banned Boss Aranka, and I usually pre-ban Empyrean Illinev, so the opponent's gonna pick it here, which is not too good, but I first pick Mediator Kiriga as always.
If you're scared, run.
And then for FCC here, and then after that I pick Balian on my ban protection slot. And then after that I usually go for New Kid Aiden, and then for my fifth pick that can be something different, maybe Realm of Light or something else, but this time I chose Fairytale Tenebria. And I ban Empyrean Illinev, and my Fairytale Tenebria gets banned, but that is fine. Usually this is my go-to comp actually when I get every hero that I want, so this is very good. Going into the match, Zero of course takes the first turn. This is how the bar looks like. I can just rip in this 3 here on hand guy to get immunity and the attack increase. Akadi goes for S1, gets some good AoE out. FCC negates most of it, of course. Made Chloe with the S3 to get the resurrection buff on everyone and defense increase. I just go for Raz here because I realized that he's the threat. Don't fully kill him here, but then I can just also S2 with hand guy. And this is the point where we both realize the Hecate on the team and nobody can revive, so yeah, Raz is gone for good. I pop an S3 for the skill nullifier. And opponent surrenders here. Quick one. One of the quickest matches actually. And Balian just sat there and looked pretty and didn't do anything. Match 2. This is gonna be against an opponent who probably drafted more around my composition. Not that I know. I just go with my usual bans here, with Empyrean Illinev this time, and opponent bans Nurse Yulha. First big hand guy.
If you're scared, run.
This is what the bans looked like, and I get Haseti here on my fifth pick, and actually this is my Haseti debut. So I can just rip an S3 here. Okay, it didn't do much, but it's fine. And here the comp of the opponent starts to work. Like, it was still technically my turn, but he did all of those things. And then invincibility. I just go for S3. Then on FCC I also go for S3 to get the skill nullifier. Well, one of them gets stripped immediately and then the other ones as well. It's okay. And here on Balian I realized that most of his units are still invulnerable, but I still go for the S3 to get the defense buff on Balian. Because here she needs to do a lot of work. Flan pops S3 on FCC, and she's immune to the defense break, which is really good. And he just starts to focus my FCC, probably a good play. Then I rip my S2. Penetrates defense, but still does some considerable damage, but of course Boss Aranka is way too tanky to take down quickly. Then Flan goes for the AoE here. And I have hand guy on Durandal. And That's just because I didn't put him on Warhorn. I put it on another unit and didn't put it back. I get the stun on Aranka, although I didn't get a defense break with the Soulburn, but that's fine. Taunt gets also resisted, and now I can actually on Bellion get a good hit in. Of course I do get counterattack twice, but then the free F pops. This is what I'm going after, like slowly chipping down through the boss Aranka with the Bellion AoEs and the free F pops. Another AoE from Flan. And we're already in Battle Frenzy stage 2. Haseti also, of course, has an AoE here on her follow-up. And nicely I get the defense break and the stun on Aranka. And then decrease attack on Flan. And a counter attack here on Bellion. Nice. I Soulburn here to get the follow-up attack. Of course I get countered. Free F pop. That's one with Hand Guy. Haseti is quite tanky, so I tank that. The follow-up attack here can maybe clean up. Not quite. And here I see that the K-Run will have his S3 ready and he pops it. But actually I just tank it and also get a counter attack. So this is really good. Hand Guy with the S2 on the barrier. And then I can just continue to pressure with Bellion. Get a counter attack still. Now I get my free F pop. And Kavarik can just actually finish it with an S1. Yeah, so another victory with the comp. Of course I did lose a lot still. Just wanted to show how it works if everything comes together, and MVP Hand Guy. Well, and talking about my experience, like I lost of course more than I won, maybe 50% win rate with this comp. First picking Hand Guy every time. Also of course I didn't always get what I wanted, like sometimes Bellion was banned or someone picked Bellion, and the Bellion was one of the support heroes here. Of course really strong with free F and like SSS imprint and counter set and 31k HP, so same for FCC, I wasn't using my FCC because this one was just way better. And then Fairy Tail with Inhibitor of course also 276 and New Kid Aiden on the counter set. Oh no, it's not counter set, but felt like it at least. And then Moon Bunny Dominial, which I sometimes used against Reneg, Seaside Bellona, which I also sometimes used. And this is gonna be a meme tier list, of course, with Mediator Kavarik right there and the Fire Hive tier. And well, it's just kind of like what I felt like was oppressive to play against, so it's gonna be like a meme arrangement really, not more than that. So in the counterpick tier are counterpicks which I felt were pretty much just doing counters, like not much more than that. So Strays against the tanks and Moon Bunny Dominial against like Renex with extra turns or like Raz or whatever. And then in the good at their stuff tier is something that's a bit more versatile, something like Raz, who is just, well, popping your units and sealing stuff, and Royale, who is reviving stuff, and like Chloe, who's again reviving stuff. That's just like good stuff. And Zero, who is shutting down one of your openers from the opponent. But all of these units, I mean, you can technically still play against them even with this comp, so they're not that much a threat like someone like Bossaranka, who's like, come on bro, really? Are we doing this? And Belian, of course, falls in the same category. If the opponent picks it, it's just as good on their team as it is on this team. And Setsuka also, something like Setsuka paired with Roel and Diane, of course, super strong with the seal and does a lot of damage and has the immortality. Yeah, these units felt really oppressive to play against, but still not as much as in the tier above. Like, hell no bro, please tier, this is just a different beast. These were also the units that I was trying like to ban from the start. Like Newmon Luna, for example, still was okay. Renek still was okay to play against. Like with the Moon Bunny Dominion, you could still pick it like on 5 and or just ban the Renek, so that you don't get pilfered. Sermia, of course, was also strong because my units relied on counter-attacking. And then, well, Ilinef, I was banning this all the time because the opponent was just way too tanky when they had her on the team. And this unit, holy moly, like this is, in my opinion, this was the strongest opener the opponent could have picked. So yeah, Lady of the Scales, of course, just broken unit in my opinion, way too strong. You either have her or you don't have her. And Haseti, some comps with Haseti are just also really strong, but the opponent kind of had to have a really good Haseti comp for this. Well, thank you for watching, this is it. Subscribe for more memes.